Hello cupcakes and welcome back to my channel all about life as a woman in trades. Here, shit is not a swear word, hand talking is not a crime, and literally nothing is taboo when it comes to the blue-collared lifestyle. So today's video, I'm going to go over basically everything that I bring with me back and forth to camp. So this is a FIFO video, fly in, fly out, and I'm going to go over some products that I've come across over the years that have been absolute game changers when it comes to frequent travel. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, just stay tuned because we're gonna get right the fuck into it, my little cupcakes. So to start, I always have a list of everything I need to bring back and forth. Like I can count on one hand the amount of times that I've forgotten stuff because I literally pack based on my list. Like I will quadruple check just to make sure. So to give you a little bit of context, right now the FIFO job that I'm working is extremely remote. So I've been at this lifestyle for the last seven years. And when I started out, I started in the oil field in Alberta. So you could literally drive to like the closest town. It was easy to get to and from, like you weren't stranded. You didn't feel like you were literally in the middle of nowhere. It was pretty accessible, I guess, compared to my current job. So right now I'm on Baffin Island. And if you don't know where that is, it is like northern Canada. It's in Nunavut. And where my site is, we are literally 500 kilometers from the North Pole. I'll try to plug like a picture in here actually of like where we are on a fucking globe. It's wild. So like I'm shit you not when I say that this is the most remote job I've ever worked. Up until recently, we didn't even have a commissary, like we didn't have a store on site. So if you forgot something and somebody else didn't have it up there with them by chance, you're shit out of luck. So I literally developed a list of like shit that you just cannot forget, like the absolute fucking staples. So not all this is going to pertain to everybody, but my suggestion, especially for your first time going to like a new site even, overpack rather than underpack, man. Like you don't have to bring everything back up with you again next time, but it just fucking sucks showing up and not having shit that you need. So with that being said, we're going to go over my list that I check every fucking time I go. Some sites will provide towels for you for the bathrooms and stuff. My site is not one of them. I've actually worked on a couple of sites that didn't provide towels. So just for my own sanity, I always make sure I have towels packed. I always bring a shower caddy as well. So again, these are some of these like life-saving products. I'll link them below. A lot of the stuff that I find is on Amazon. But my current site, we share bathrooms. Like we've got two sites, one on one end of the island, one on the other, and depending on what like site they send you to, you either have your own beautiful private bathroom, private room, or you sleep in a tent and you share bathrooms with other people. I would love to say it's not as bad as it sounds. It 100% is as bad as it sounds, but the people are awesome and the job is awesome, so it all kind of balances out. But for that one, especially where you're sharing a bathroom with other people and you're traveling back and forth, it's nice to have some kind of caddy for everything. And I personally like having a waterproof one so that I don't have to constantly take things out, set them up in the shower, and then dry them off and then put them back in. I like having a waterproof one where I leave it right outside of the shower, grab shit as I need it. That's that. So along that same thread then as well, flip-flops. So again, we're starting off with like the bathroom basics, I guess. Towels, shower caddy, never fucking hurt anybody, and flip-flops. Get yourself a cheap ass pair of flip-flops. Even if you're not sharing a shower, if you're a little bit of a clean freak or like you're not trying to pick up any fucking fungus, because I'm not always cleaned the best and people are gross. It doesn't hurt to bring flip-flops. Like I lucked out. I got moved to the good site with like my own private bathroom and stuff a couple months ago, and I still literally wear my flip-flops in the shower every single day. Doesn't matter that it's only me that's using the shower. It's a camp shower. Like flip-flops are good. They're $3. They're super light. 10 out of 10 would recommend making sure that you have those with you. So some sites are really good about providing like plastic water bottles for you for juices or whatever for liquids, and they'll give you like paper cups and lids and stuff for coffees. My site is really, really big on like obviously the environmental impact, especially where we are, like we're releasing land from the Inuits. They just don't like to waste basically if they don't have to. So always bring up your own water bottle and coffee mug. Again, it doesn't hurt. Like if you get up there and your site does provide all that stuff, then that's awesome. You don't have to bring that back with you. But I personally, I bring a 1 liter water bottle with me. I drink 3 or 4 liters minimum a day. So I just prefer to have my own water bottle, even on like the rare times with COVID, like when my site is providing all of those disposable items. So coffee mug and a water bottle. Better off having your own stuff, and at least that way, like, you know that you have something that's going to keep your drinks warm. It's got a lid, it's not going to spill, whatever. Creature comforts, you know what I'm saying? Contigo makes some good shit. Actually, you know what, actually, yeah, my coffee mug and my water bottle are both Contigo. I have to say, I've never had any issues. They're both bomb. I'm too stingy to get like a fucking Yeti mug to bring to an iron ore mine. Ain't happening. But if you do you boo-boo, like judgment free, just either way I would suggest have your own coffee, have your own coffee mug and your own water bottle. The next thing, okay, we're gonna get into the fucking electronics. Just realizing, for as like OCD as I am and as organized as I am, this is all over the place. Like, you'd think that I would bunch all of the shower stuff together and then all of the food stuff together and then all of the electronics done. No, we're bouncing back and forth. So I will do a summary at the end of, again, each different category, but right now we're just reading it through. Okay. So the next one is going to be electronics. So headphones. Make sure you bring headphones and make sure you bring a spare set of headphones too. So whether you have like a long bus ride when you're getting off the plane and going to camp, or you just like to have music when you're going to the gym there, or when you're in your room, or whatever it is, like make sure you have like a good set of headphones. Always make sure you have a spare, especially if you're in a remote site. Again, like you're not always going to have the accessibility to be able to get a new pair if yours shits the bed or they break, or like God forbid somebody fucking steals them. But having an extra anything, especially working away, does not hurt. Extra chargers for electronics. This is key. Again, if you're at a remote site, doesn't matter what your electronics are, always bring 2 fucking cords, man. You cannot guarantee that somebody else is going to have an extra lend you. You can't guarantee that it's not going to just break part of the way through your shift. I'm speaking from experience on all of these things too. Like I used to be so, again, just like single-minded with everything. So I'm like, okay, check iPhone charger, check like iPod charger, check fucking whatever. That is the time that your cord breaks or just shits the bed, or you lose it, or someone steals it. Like, again, not everybody is nice, man. Sometimes there's some shitty people out there. I feel like I said that a lot on here, but it's true everywhere. People fucking suck. So make sure you always have extra chargers. And actually that comes in handy too, because then if one of your buddies at work ends up like not having an extra charger themselves and they lose theirs or they forget it or something, then at least you have something to kind of pay it forward with. You can share with your brethren. It's fucking dope. One thing that I do for travel, and I will 10 out of 10 recommend to anybody who does any kind of flying, or even like long drives and stuff for your travel, get a fucking battery bank, man. Worth every penny. I think I got mine from Walmart. It was like $60, but I get 4 charges minimum, like from dead all the way to full, for my iPad or my phone. I charge everything on it. My Apple Watch, like that thing comes in fucking handy. It doesn't take very long to charge up either, but if you're stuck somewhere traveling, if you're sitting in an airport all day, you keep hearing about these like sketchy things, or if you plug in your own cord, they can actually like hack your fucking devices and stuff. I'm not smart enough for that stuff, and I'm like willfully naive and optimistic and like to see the best in humanity, so I just like to think that that shit doesn't happen. But also, those seats get taken really fucking quickly, so if you're used to sitting in airports and waiting, you know that motherfuckers are just eyeing up those spots with like the little charge stations. Good luck getting a wall outlet. Good luck getting one of those little ones where you plug your USB in. Like, don't even fucking think about it. If you have your own external like battery bank, you don't need to worry about it, because then you have it wherever the fuck you do find a seat. So don't skimp there. Invest in a good battery bank. I'm telling you, you will not regret that decision. So now we're back into the shower stuff, because my list does not follow any kind of fucking script, unlike me now. I always make sure that I have Q-tips, because that is one thing that I have forgotten in the past, and it is the worst thing to forget. Like, then you have to get ghetto and you use like toilet paper. You're trying to like roll up toilet paper to get like the water out of your no. Just do yourself a favor, stock up on Q-tips. I almost like hoard them. I literally have like a pack of 500 in my suitcase in camp, and then I have in like a secret sneaky side fucking pocket, I've got another one of those like little cutie pie, like 150 swab ones. I've got another one in my travel fucking bag that I bring up. Like Q-tips, they're fucking $3 for a box of 500. Like, just get them and make sure that you have enough, because they suck not having, man. That is one very, very fucking underappreciated, like unsung hero of our world. So depending on where you go, it's not a bad idea to bring hand soap. Some places, if you have your own bathroom, sometimes they'll give you like a bar of soap and then you're good to go. Again, my current camp, like I'm super, super grateful that I finally have my own bathroom, but they don't provide hand soap in that one. So I have to buy my own. So it doesn't hurt to bring up your own hand soap. If you have eczema or anything like that as well, you can't always guarantee like that the products that they do provide, like if they do provide them, that they're not going to bother your skin. So again, good rule of thumb, like if there's anything that you know comfort wise is going to play a big part in your like day-to-day life, bring it up. So I always bring a fuck ton of moisturizer, especially for my hands. My hands crack like a motherfucker. Actually, even like cracking here, and the humidity is pretty high in Scotia, and where I am, it's literal desert. Tangent, this is what we do, little side roads. But I actually ended up bringing up one of those like Humidex readers that you can get to camp, because I was just like, I come on the fucking Arctic Ocean, how is it a desert? Like, I think these guys are just yanking my chain here. So anyway, I brought this like little Humidex reader up to see. 16% humidity. Blew my fucking mind, man. I have never seen anything like it. Again, I come from Nova Scotia, where like if you don't have a dehumidifier in your basement, what are you doing? Like, your whole house is gonna be fucking moldy. Like when my mom bought a new house a couple years ago, a decade ago, obviously new build, like everything's settling, you have to have a humidifier right away just to make sure that you're getting it all out. We would empty that motherfucker every single day in the summer, okay? Like, humidity here gets up to 100%. 16% in camp? Are you fucking kidding me? Yo, I just went off on a straight up tangent over fucking humidity. But bringing it back into where we were, bring good moisturizer. Like, I always bring hand cream, doesn't matter what job you're on. Usually if you're at like one of these remote places, it tends to be a little bit colder, so you can expect that it's gonna have lower humidity than you're used to. You can expect that your hands are gonna dry out. Along that thread too, this kind of ties into what I leave up there, but I actually invested in a humidifier for work, specifically because I was waking up with like nosebleeds, my hands cracked and bled. If you have like eczema or anything like that, you know that stuff's gonna bug you big time. So I would suggest investing in, you can even get them from like Bed Bath & Beyond. Again, Amazon, I fucking love Amazon. You can get ones that you can actually like plug a water bottle into, so it doesn't even have like an external tank. Like, it's a super easy, compact, light and cheap fucking option. So something to think about for sure, depending on where you're going and depending on like how your skin reacts to stuff, and if you're on my level for being a princess or not. Humidifier never hurt anybody either. See, the things that I'm providing you with, they never hurt anybody, they only help. We're here to help. Flip-flops we went over. Okay, laundry detergent and dryer sheets. So this is going to depend on where you are. Sometimes the camps will provide those things for you, like they'll have the Tide detergent for you, and they'll have like basic bitch fucking dryer sheets. I'm not one of those people that's affected by scents, luckily. I do have hypersensitive skin, but for whatever reason, not when it comes to like laundry detergents. But I like smell in a certain type of way, you know? So I like my gain. So I always bring my own stuff up with me. My current camp, where again we're remote, like we have to filter our own water and all that. We've got like a whole water treatment thing going down. You can't use Tide Pods, which breaks my little fucking heart because I love Tide Pods. Like, the plastic in them actually won't break down for our water treatment system. But I bring the boosters, so I have to use the Tide that they have because that's what like the bacteria is used to there for the water treatment and blah blah blah. But I like, again, to smell a certain way, so I bring my boosters, whatever they are, like the little nubbies. A little goes a long way. I also bring my own dryer sheets because, again, I'm particular about like the fabric softness. I do a lot of hand wash, but only on specific materials because I don't like that dry, scratchy feeling. And I find a lot of the times, like the cheap ass dryer sheets that they give you, they scratchy. I'm not trying to be scratchy. I like smelling good and I like having soft stuff on my fucking body, you know? So laundry detergent, dryer sheets, never a bad idea to bring up. Even if you just put them in a Ziploc baggie, like if you have the space and you know you're going to be there for a while and you just want to leave them up there, I bring like the box of 250 dryer sheets or whatever, and I know I'm good for a fucking lifetime up there. But if you're not sure or you don't want to pack a whole lot at once, even just grab a few, put them in a Ziploc baggie. It takes up no space in whatever you're packing, literally doesn't weigh anything, so it's not going to affect like your weight limit when you get to the airports and stuff. And at least you have a couple there. And ooh, pro tip, you can even use them to freshen your room. So if you're in like a dank ass camp room, shit stinks, and you just didn't remember to bring an air freshener, which is also on my list, I kid you not, you can actually take those motherfucking dryer sheets and you can scent your whole goddamn room with them with the heaters. Like, obviously don't light stuff on fire. That's bad. But you can actually like put them around your heater. It'll help your room smell better. It'll absorb a little bit of the funk from whoever was living in that room before you. So I told you came here for the tips. I got the fucking tips, my friends. Most camps will let you take dinner with you to go, so Tupperware is not a bad idea. So if you really like the camp food and you really like the camp dinners, or you don't want to eat like the same sandwiches every single day, bringing up Tupperware, making sure you have your own name on it, whatever is good. But Tupperware, not a bad thing to bring up with you. Kind of goes along with like the water bottle and coffee mugs, I guess. I hate camp coffee. Speaking of all this, we already talked about coffee mugs and shit. I hate camp coffee. That shit tastes like sludge to me. Like, you can't pay me to drink it. I would rather look like a fucking fiend going through withdrawal for weeks on end if that was the only thing I had to drink. Like, no, bro. Don't even let me smell it. Don't let me make eye contact with it. So I bring up instant coffee. And this is a fucking pro tip that I picked up from somebody when I was working on a BC job several years back. Ooh, just getting all excited and kicking shit here. Chill the fuck out, Kev. Hold on, I'm like, oh, okay. Ooh, there we go. Cross-legged, much more comfortable. Yeah, a couple years ago in this job, I was making myself drink that fucking like sludgy camp coffee. Fucking hated life. And my buddy Dwayne busts out with those like little satchels of the Starbucks instant coffee, and I was just like, this motherfucker knows what's up. So since that day, I've always brought my own instant coffee. I started off being a bougie bitch, getting like the Starbucks instant coffee. It's pretty fucking good, but it does get expensive, and especially you're working away half the year or more. I budget, and I budget groceries and stuff, and I budget like my back to work supplies and stuff. I don't want a large part of my budget being eaten into by fucking instant coffee. So I actually use Nescafe these days. Again, something I'm going to show you in my suitcase when we do the actual packing. But I love the Nescafe instant coffee. Super cheap. It's less than half the price of the Starbucks stuff, and you get twice as much, like literally more than twice as much. So if you're wondering why the change of scenery as well as the outfit, it's because when I went to edit this video, it was ridiculously long. It ended up morphing into its own beast, where the first portion was me reading off my list from my phone that I highly suggest everybody makes if you work away, into me actually showing how I pack my suitcase, tips and tricks, and then getting into the products that I use. I really do think that both videos have value. I just don't think that they need to be 1.5 hour long video. Like, I don't want to sit through editing that, so I know you probably don't want to sit through listening or watching that. And the whole point of these is to actually give value and give tips and tricks, and I don't think you're going to get that if you get bored halfway through. Okay, so I think I briefly touched on it, but I actually leave a suitcase up in camp at all times now. So I've been on the same site for the last 2 years. I know the kind of stuff that I want to bring with me. I know the stuff that I don't want to lug back and forth every time. My rule of thumb, if you are going to leave stuff in camp, is just make sure that it's stuff that you don't need right away. It can be a very long and cumbersome process to get your stuff back should you not return for whatever reason. So everything that I leave in camp is stuff that it's duplicates, basically. It's stuff that I already have at home or stuff that I'm not going to need. I never leave anything that I know I would need immediately. So when it comes to my carry-on, I always have a neck pillow. I always have a blanket because it gets friggin' cold on planes. I always bring lots of earplugs because I actually use them in camp if I'm in a super loud wing or I have a really shitty neighbor. And I also use them every single flight just to drown out the sound of the engines, because I read when I fly. I don't watch movies or shows or anything. I read and then I nap. So earplugs, necessity. Neck pillow, necessity. Blanket, absolute necessity. I always bring lippy stuff because flying is very dehydrating, as we've touched on, and I'm not a huge fan of public bathrooms. I've literally in all my years of travel, I've used an airplane bathroom once, and that was one times too many, and I will not do it. So I know that this is not a healthy piece of advice, but I just really drop down my liquid consumption when I know I'm flying, because I refuse to use an airplane bathroom if I don't have to. But I do like to make sure that my lips stay hydrated and my hands stay hydrated. So lippy stuff always, hand cream always. It's a necessity and a carry-on for me. I actually also bring a luggage scale back and forth with me, so this stays in my carry-on at all times. You'll see it in the next video when I'm actually showing you my packing and I'm showing you my carry-on, but it was literally a $10 fine from Walmart, just a really basic scale. And so that way I know when I'm packing my bags at home, when I'm gonna be sitting right at that 50-pound mark. It just kind of gives me that peace of mind knowing that I'm not gonna go over, I'm not gonna have to worry about repacking when I get to the airport. And currently the charter we use has a restriction on the weight that our carry-on can be even. So we only get 22 pounds for our carry-on. So I actually do bring my luggage scale to make sure that my carry-on's not going over that 22 pounds. And my work computer on its own is 7 pounds. I shit you not. So for me, it's just really important to maximize what I'm packing and how I'm packing things. And then I always have my electronics bag, which is gonna have a power bank. If you do not have a battery pack, an external power bank, 10 out of 10 would recommend anybody who does any amount of traveling to get one. It has come in handy so many times in so many different situations. So that always comes with me. I have cords for all of my electronics that I do use. I have extra cords for everything. I've got extra wall plug-annies. But I just like to keep everything in that one particular bag together, because this is the stuff that will get you flagged when you go through security. So if it's all together in one spot, it's just nice and easy to take it out, put it in the bin, wait for them to paw on through it when it gets flagged and you're going through security, grab it, put it right back in your bag, and you're good to go. And then that way when you are looking for a cord for anything, or you do need to charge something, then you automatically know where you're going for it. I just like, organization makes me happy, okay? I'm OCD. And so when you do travel, you're allowed to have a carry-on and one personal item, they say. So that can be like a purse if you want to bring a purse. For me, I actually bring one of those reusable like Sobeys bags or grocery store bags, and that's where I'll put all of my food products. So if my suitcase is too heavy and I can't fit my protein and my oats and like the foods that I want to bring up for myself, that's how I bring them back and forth. That's also how I cheat their 22-pound max on our carry-ons, the charter. You're just looking at my backpack. You're not looking at my food bag, so don't even worry about it, okay? And this is actually where I'll also put my empty bottles, like my empty coffee mug if I am traveling with that instead of putting it in my suitcase, as well as my water bottle. And I just find it a little bit easier to stick it in that bag and then have that in the overhead bin rather than having my water bottle on the side of my backpack. Sometimes it's kind of awkward to get under the seat. It doesn't always fit the best, you know? So we're gonna finish up today's video here. If there's anything that you take away from it, it's to be over-prepared rather than under-prepared. Overpack rather than underpack for your first time going away. Again, I've given my helpful tips and tricks on things that I think everybody could use for sure. If you're working in a camp environment, you'll pick that stuff up as you go. Point is, it's gonna be different everywhere you go. You're not gonna know until you actually get up there, but there's some staples that I think definitely don't hurt to have. I also think that should be the title of the video, really. Doesn't hurt to have, because I say it so many fucking times, especially in the next one. There are a few things that I feel like we all like to have in terms of creature comforts, and it's so much better to have stuff and not need it than not have stuff that you do need. So if you tune in next week, I will actually be uploading the second half of this video, which is me showing everything from the suitcase that I use now after many years of trial and error, along with the helpful packing tips that I've come up with over the years, the different things that I found from other people that I've adopted, or things that I found for myself that seem to work really well to make sure that I maximize the amount of space that I have. So if you did find any value from this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up so that I know that I'm on the right track when it comes to the content I'm giving you guys. And if you're enjoying it enough that you want to keep showing up, please go ahead and subscribe. I'm going to be aiming, we're not making any promises here, but I am aiming to have a new video uploaded every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, so Scotia time. If you follow us on our Instagram account, I will be posting every time a new video is scheduled. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. Comment down below if there's anything that you feel like I missed, if there's any major staples that you have. And really, I would just like to know who you are and where you're from and what you do, because most of the followers that I have so far are actually from Australia. And I believe that's because mining is huge in Australia, and that's most of what I talk about right now is my current experience in mining. So if you're one of my Australian visitors, hello, thank you for coming back. Comment down below, let me know where you're from and what you do. Australia is on my bucket list, so one of these days I'm gonna go, I swear. Just COVID needs to kind of fuck off first, I think. Thank you so much for stopping by. Don't forget to be a cupcake and a world full of muffins, and we'll see you in the next one.